Hello, and welcome back to the Drake Stormcloud channel. We're just standing by until Ryu is ready and live. That way we can jump into the collab. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this game's storyline. I appreciate that the NPCs are actually challenging fights. As you may have noticed from games like Digital Devil Saga, I do enjoy a challenging fight. The final boss fight in that was more of a slog and item drain, though. I was probably rather underleveled. All told, it was a good game, though. And I'm looking forward to playing through the sequel on stream on Mondays. I need to do a bit more grinding for Final Fantasy Tactics, and I will be trying to catch up on that. One way or another, I will be playing that on Tuesday, though. I'm not going to cheap out on that. I'm going to finish it. And if you want to vote on what I play next on Wednesdays, drop by my Discord. Dungeons of Sundaria is going to be the filler for now. Honestly, and my headphones don't. I have my headphones because I'm going to be listening to my audio through the streaming computer using a capture card and a Switch 2. And honestly, I don't like what a lot of the major game companies are doing. I don't like what Nintendo's been doing. I don't like what Sony or Microsoft have been doing. Never before have I wished for the slower progress of a game company that died out because they pushed technology beyond its limits too far, as much as I do currently. So, for any people at Sega that probably will never see this, if you wanted to make a new system and thrive in a market, look around you. We're all waiting for just that. All right. We wait and we wait and we wait. Honestly, I am. He is online on Discord, so I'm going to go ahead and try to call him and everything. We will see if he picks up. And I figure he probably will pick up, but it might take time. And then once he is online on Twitch, I will send the stream together and share chat and everything, and it will be good. Okay. We wait. And yeah, I still don't have anyone that voted in the Discord regarding what dwarven game to play on Wednesdays. And oh, there is Ryu. Hello.
Okay.
Did you forget it was Thursday?
Hopefully this mess is working now.
I will go ahead and send the stream together.
Switch to my meta quest again. Because Discord's being weird. On top of that, I was having some issues, of course, with good old OBS was having problems. So I have to run the game in safe. So I have to run the stream in safe mode, but it appears to be working.
And you can hear me, correct?
Yeah, I was. Apparently, my Discord defaulted back to my Oculus headset
Oh boy.
for whatever reason.
Well, I
Did you?
mean, it could be worse.
At least Twitch finally made that less of a headache.
And sharing chat.
Well, okay. Whoever sent me 30 bits, I appreciate it.
Alright, that is sitting perfectly on my end.
Okay.
Alright, so I did some grinding off screen. I purified Duskull.
I haven't done much because I don't have a lot of time during the day, during the week.
And
So that's what I'm doing currently.
can you guess what I named my female Duskull before I switch over scenes?
Hmm.
You're gonna laugh when you see it.
I can't think of anything right now. But I have my goal bat at least. Photon, huh?
Yep.
I cannot nickname the meta type, unfortunately, because it's a trade Pokemon.
Ah.
Also, I realized something. I'm going to be using 2 traded Pokemon this playthrough.
So you are. I'm gonna go into the evil team's base if we're good to start.
Yep. I'm just grinding a map battle for the time being. I'm trying to get everyone to at least level 25. I have the goal bat now, so... It's holding the suit bell, so I'll get a Crobat eventually.
Alright.
And I never really realized how absurd this meta type can be because giving Shadow Ball to a Pokemon with essentially huge power.
Oh boy. You just said it had Shadow Balls, so... Light Screen first. I'm also going to use Return on that.
Also, until my
Speak
Zoo got
up.
evolved in the Golbat, my Meditite and Zubat were speed tied because they would trade turns. After it evolved into the Golbat, it always goes first, though.
Okay, I got rid of his Sneasel before it could use the Shadow Ball. Or Dark, or whatever it was. It was Shadow Ball,
Probably
right?
Shadow Ball because the thing is, Dark types were special attacks back then, and Sneasel's special attack is abysmally bad.
Oh, true. Alright, Reflect.
By the way,
Return on
I
Kadabra.
am playing. I moved on to the next game in my solo stream, which is Pokemon Crystal Legacy. Guess what they did with this? They did exactly what I was ranting that Game Freak should have done in the first place. They made Ghost type special and Dark type physical.
Awesome.
Also, to offset
Okay, I
Hitmonchan,
need
they
to
they
swap
switched his
out
attack
you.
and special attack stats.
We'll send in Hades now. Issa will use Return on Kadabra. Side beam on Issa is fine. Hades is going to destroy the ghost. And the last one is a Meow. Well, I think it's the last one. It's the shadow one. Okay.
The one time when Leech Life can one-shot a Pokemon. It just happened. Before it got its buff, I might add.
Faint attack on Mischievous. Swap out Issa for Tifa.
Hades should be evolving it after her level, I think. Should have a Hound soon. Which, another thing that they decided to do was, you know what Gen 2's biggest problem was?
Let's see. Among all the problems Gen 2 had, the biggest one, the placement of the dark types.
Well, not only that, but, you know how it was like, you introduce over 100 of these cool new Pokemon, right? Most of them are only available in Kanto. You know, the post game. This game, they were like, nah, we're going to have them actually in Johto proper now.
Well, Hades fainted, so I don't think he's going to level up in this battle.
So, for example, in Route 36, west of Violet City, they added Houndour into the grass there.
Nice.
Another thing they did was in Dark Cave, it's a rare encounter, but they added Larvitar.
I am going to attempt to catch the Meow.
And then they also made it so after you solve the puzzles in the chambers for the Ruins of Alph, whichever Pokemon that you're forming the picture of, you get its respective fossil.
Huh.
How does that work? I have no clue, but I'm not going to complain.
I guess instead of creating an entire new universe and yoinking the Pokemon from there, you're visiting into a destroyed universe and yoinking the fossilized form of that one.
Possibly. But yeah, one of my team members is going to be Aerodactyl because never had a chance to use one early game. Granted, I'm not going to get it for a bit, but the point is, I get to have it far earlier than you normally would.
Okay.
I'm also going to do something else that's interesting. They also did the whole took a page out of Legends Arceus where if a Pokemon evolves by, you know, holding an item and then trading, you just use it like an evolution stone. And it just so happens you get traded Onyx in the game.
Nice.
And it's like, well, won't you be able to not evolve it until you get to Kanto? That is the easiest way to get a Metal Coat. I'm going to do it the hard way.
Grinding and throwing Pokeballs at everything that moves?
Yep, grinding and throwing Pokeballs at Magnemite. Because they have a 10% chance of holding a Metal Coat.
Yeah. Because it was magnetically pulled to them.
Yep.
That is the logic behind it. I mean, that is probably the smartest thing this evil team has done. Not giving the key to the elevator to the guy right in front of the elevator.
Yep. You can probably guess who has the key. I mean,
Before
the
that,
admin in charge of the operation would have it. And it's like, yeah, that's the wiser thing to do.
rock is going off. The admin is the big muscle guy for this situation.
Yeah. The reason I chuckle is because the design is very bizarre for the admin in charge.
Oh, I found a Gligar.
Oh. Oh. Okay, I guess Mount Battle was worth it, but let me check something real quick. By the way, Ryu has a new keyboard. No, it doesn't learn it. Okay. Well, clearing area to Mount Battle gives you Water Pulse. Just so happens I have a water type that can use that. Unfortunately, Surf is not obtainable in the game. I wish.
It would be broken.
Because Gen 3 Surf was broken.
It was.
And since in a game where every battle is a double battle, yeah. Okay, remember it's spiking up. Yep. I never understood. Okay, I kind of get it, but at the same time, you know, between areas 2 and 3, let's spike the difficulty up exponentially. Because the area leader's best Pokemon was level 17, and then you get into area 3, and then suddenly they're level 27.
Yeah. Yeah, this should be good. Now we swap over to Tifa. We're going to try and stun spore them. And then false swipe them down.
And then another thing I'm going to do is the game's like it's like I need to have the water fire grass core. I already ditched the starter, by the way. I picked what's funny is because of the 2 Legends games, there is only one Pokemon out of the Johto starters I never picked. Chikorita. Completely unintentional, I promise, but I never picked Chikorita.
I always pick the fire type starter.
But because I have access to early game Houndour, I was okay with passing on Cyndaquil. The other, but anyway, the water Pokemon I have in mind is going to be Lantern. Because they actually buff Lantern in this game that I'm playing.
Nice. Lantern deserves a buff.
Yes, it does. It deserves an evolution because its stats are low enough to give one.
It really does. And if they don't put one in the new game in Wind and Waves,
which
they're
is
never
mostly
going
underwater, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, it
so perfect
is
opportunity.
Underwater? Alright.
A lot of the, I mean, it's a tropical area based on Indonesia. So yes, it's going to have a lot of water.
And yeah, it's going to have a lot of water, but is it going to be underwater?
Apparently they are bringing back the dive mechanic, yes.
Well, let's hope it's not just select areas in the end game.
I
Most
doubt
games.
it, but I don't think they're going to let you do it immediately though, because I know how this works.
But yeah,
They never let you do it in the beginning.
I mean, if it's a tropical area with underwater maps and everything, if they don't give Lantern an evolution in that one, they're never going to.
Yep. It's one of the few Gen 2 Pokemon left that still needs something. Also, if we don't have the Galarian Corsola and
So I caught a
Ursula, we're
Gligar.
doing it wrong. Nice. But as I said, though, if you don't have Galarian Corsola, I get it, it's from Galar, but if you don't have a version of it, you're missing out on something.
Hey, they have put different regional Pokemon in regions they weren't originally in before.
Exactly.
They can do it again. Easily.
And it makes all the sense in the world if it's going to have a large underwater portion.
Okay, so our Pokemon can faint from poison on the map.
Yes. Uh-oh. My opponent's using a metronome. That could have been worse. He used Hyper Fang. Could have been worse.
Okay, so I have no idea where I am supposed to go.
Head up to the Coliseum. I'm okay with being a bit behind because I've been ahead most of the game.
You really have,
That's
and it's
fine.
not exactly a race at this one.
Yeah. Okay, Barbara, get out there. I know when your friendship lowering by fainting, so...
Alright, first off with those...
Plus, I want you to experience
I'm gonna
how out there the admin is.
I'm going to start with Reflect, and then use a return on his Torkoal.
I bet you're wondering why you're not using Shadow Ball on Togetic. It does nothing in this game. It's still a normal type. Fairy type do not exist yet.
Oh boy, who's asking that?
Well, it's preemptive. If anyone asks about it.
Okay, we set up Reflect, let's set up Light Screen, and then try to get the return off. There we go. Alright, the screens are set up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, now to swap out Beyblade, we will send in Hades. Okay. Shadow Swine Nub.
Okay, so the admin's level cap is 27, so yeah, about 25-ish would be fine. But don't underestimate this guy. He's one of the first difficulty spikes in the game because his team is actually pretty good.
Ember. I will swap out for Tifa. There's danger in this. There is danger in this. However, Swinub is down, or Nuzleaf is down, and Swinub is going to get paralyzed and slapped with a bunch of false swipes. Besides, they're going to use Shadow Wave, which is super effective but doesn't deal a lot of damage. This is good. Okay. There we go. Let's swap out Hades. We'll send in Botan. And now we just slap false swipe on the Swinub until I feel like I can catch it.
Unnecessary critical hit on a coughing.
I'm going to keep swapping out Pokemon, that way everyone gets experience from this fight. And Tifa is going to use another false swipe. Swinub is unable to move.
So, once you get to the upper echelons of Mount Battle, that is when the BS starts happening. I mean, it's nothing too crazy until you get to the upper 60 battles. Because up until then it's kind of tame, and then all of a sudden one trainer has a level 64 Articuno and a level 64 Regice, because that's fair.
I mean, at least it's only 2. But I have to ask...
that area leader is rude. Blaziken, Gyarados, and Salamence.
But, as for the guy that had 2 legendaries, did they happen to resemble someone from the 4th gen anime?
No, it's just some random ace trainer.
So just some random guy that shows up with a couple of legendaries in their back pocket
Yep.
for no canonical reason whatsoever.
They're not even an area leader. It's like, okay, I'll give you an area leader because seriously, you gotta make him challenging somehow. But like one of the area leaders has a Regirock and a Metagross. So that's fun.
Huh? Spot monitor is responding. Which one is it though?
Oh, okay, so there's this
Eh.
one trainer who's literally just Wes. He has Espeon, Umbreon. He has Espeon, Umbreon, and the 3 legendary beasts.
Oasis. Alright, so Espeon, Umbreon, and the 3 legendary beasts.
That's just the main character from Coliseum.
Yeah. I would also like to just take a moment and point out that this is another
yeah, the
nod
lore.
towards the theory, the
Yep.
burnt tower theory.
Ew. The Regigolems and Shedinja. Ew.
Oh no. If you don't have a solution for Shedinja, you're not building a proper team.
Yeah. And then the Mount Battle Master. That's the 99th battle, by the way. And then the leader of the Mount Battle Master. Yikes! All 6 of those Pokemon are scary. Let's see: Dusclops, Latios, Salamence, Metagross, and Slacking.
So I ran into a Hoppip.
Nice.
Sunspore Mist, it's using Tackle.
Ooh, that's mean. Two of the number 99 trainer, actually the 99 trainer, all five of our Pokemon have Explosion.
Oh.
Pair it up with Shedinja, and then the Regigolems who can take a lot of punishment. At least they don't have held items and they have the worst IVs and EVs, so they're at least nice to you on that front. But otherwise, no, they're not.
Yeah.
That's one of those things like in battle modes where they're like, yeah, you're doing too well. We're going to throw legendaries at you.
I'm not naming the Pokemon I catch right now because they're just going to the PC for purification fodder.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, with the exception of honestly, if even one of them stays on 4 legs, I'm gonna be happy. For those starters for Gen 9 or Gen 10.
I like how Skeledirge went the opposite direction.
I appreciate Skeledirge.
But it did the opposite. It went from on bipedal to all 4s.
Yeah. The only one that went from all 4s to bipedal was Sprigatito. And as soon as we saw that starter, we knew that was what they were going to do.
Yep, but the thing's actually pretty good, though.
It is.
Meowscarada is kind of scary because it has Protean for one thing, and Flower Trick never missing and having a guaranteed critical hit.
Yeah, it is a rude move. These are
Skeletors,
special types, so light screen. We're going to
the
use
only one that got
return
screwed over was
on
Quaffleval.
Pelipper, because you could actually hurt him. Quaquavel, yeah, I feel like they could have done a lot better with them.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it almost feels like they were added in as a bit of a gag.
Also, they are representative of three different special occasions. The Oscarada is a masquerade ball.
Skeleturge is Deus Mortis.
Yep.
Day of the Dead. And Quaquaval is Carnival.
Yep. Or Festival.
It's right there in the name.
Yep.
Sparrow is the Shadow Pokemon.
Festival, Mardi Gras, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same. Fortress when I have a fire type in my back pocket.
Okay. We're going to switch in Jolteon. And we're going to switch in Tifa. So, I still need a name for male Jolteon. Honestly, I might just name it Cloud because we have Tifa in the party.
It's true, and
Spiky yellow hair.
And canonically, Cloud is one of the best lightning users.
True. Thunder Wave and False Swipe.
Well, that is a reference to FF7 Machina Bridge.
Fair enough.
Soldier Boat! I love that gag. It's like, Soldier Boat! I can't believe we did it.
I mean, to be fair, the bridge things are funny.
Yes. Also, it's Team 4-star, so you know it's going to be funny.
Yeah, Jolteon's confused. Tifa's also confused. And
they all moved on, which some of them went into voice acting and voice directing, so cool. I think Antfish completely retired, though.
Boy. That's unfortunate, but life happens.
Yeah.
This could catch the Spearow. Spearow doesn't have too high a catch rate, and it's paralyzed in the yellow. Okay, so I didn't have to worry about Tifa hitting herself. Speaking of, the next Final Fantasy stream will be the conclusion of Crisis Core. I'm not sure if that's going to be tomorrow or if it's going to be next Thursday because Ryu has things going on.
Yep. By the way, beating Crisis Core, huh? Never had the patience to do that. Because of how grindy the game got.
Oh, it does get grindy. But here's a trick for the materia leveling. First, once you get Moogle Charm, this is a Moogle Charm trick. anytime you have a high DMW with the female Turk, what you do is you just go to that first mission, kill all but one enemy, and just stand there defending while doing whatever else. Whenever their DMW is there, you use Lucky Star, which increases the chance of triggering DMWs.
Yeah, I never understood that process. So.
And when you have the Mughal charm, you use it.
Oh, yeah.
And that just maxes out anything above level 5 or level 4 or 5 should max out your materia.
Right.
Anything below that?
Google mode.
Anything below that, you might need to do it another time. I am not going to learn rest with Berserang.
Yeah, that's right. It puts in the Moogle mode, and the bonuses you get from that are very, very nice.
Ah, Shadow Grimer.
You know what my favorite DMW limit is, though, don't you?
Probably Apocalypse.
Yep.
I mean, overpowered magic used in memory of the canonical summoner of the soldiers first class.
Yep.
I think he's kind of like a red mage summoner, as far as I can tell
is.
overall.
He's also technically, what's interesting is it's like Genesis and Angeal. Spoilers, by the way. Same mother, different father. So that's kind of messed up. It was part of some big plan that a rival doctor to Hojo wanted to try.
Yeah.
And it didn't exactly
The entire
work.
soldier project. Oh, and now they can't be swapped out. Okay. That's actually problematic. Let's use ancient power and then just call on you. I don't think Grimer would be weak to rock. Nope, okay.
Now it's weak to ground.
Woods. Yeah.
Also, I believe how it works is Grimer has a very high special defense, but its physical defense is not as good. Its counterpart coughing and wheezing's the other way around.
Yeah. Which makes
high
sense.
Physical defense, low special defense.
Which makes sense, all told.
Yep.
Oh, we got the stat boost on Beyblade.
Nice, you got the Omni boost off. That's so satisfying when that triggers.
Alright, so honestly, Lick isn't doing too much damage. It's a physical move, but it's not doing a lot of damage because it's not a damaging move. We got the paralysis off. And now we're going to throw a Pokeball.
Also, the fact that you're licking a pilot's sledge, though.
My dog has licked weirder things.
Fair enough. Battle number 29 uses Celio and Quagsire. That's kind of scary. Too bad I'm not going to be able to get I may not get my grass type this stream because it's pretty decently far. Also, too bad this isn't a later generation because my Curlier would have
Uh,
Magical Leaf.
oh, two spot monitor reactions.
I had all three go off, and I'm like, I'm kind of in the middle of training, so I can't really leave.
Cave and rock. I could be getting a whooper. First, I'm going to heal up. Swap Tifa to the front of the party. Alright, so we're gonna go to cave and see if I got whooper. I put 10 traits in each of them.
I noticed when you pulled up your spot monitor earlier. Well, it's a good thing these two are, well, one's not a physical attacker, but one is using a physical move.
That's not whooper!
No, but at least you get some free Poke Snacks. Mud Shot, one of the best moves in the series. If you know, you know.
Oh, we got an energy root too.
I believe you'll possibly encounter her 4 times. When she gives you the revival herb, you won't encounter the Munchlax again, I don't think.
Okay, rock.
I like that they did something with Munchlax in this game, because it was one of the preview Pokemon.
Ah, another Gligar.
They also do something with Bonsly, which is another preview Pokemon.
Yeah. Remember, the very first appearance of Munchlax actually happened in Gen 3 anime when May had one on her team. But that's not entirely true.
There was one before that.
It was also in one of the Mystery Dungeon games. If you know, you know.
I believe its first anime appearance was the Destiny Deoxys movie.
This is also true. And when they missed the garbage can, they sighed and picked up the garbage and threw it out.
Yep. And then eventually it evolves into a Snorlax, and then Ash uses him as a platform. It's like, well, I mean, that's not a bad platform to use. Also more exemplifying what it was in the original games.
Yep.
Enormous roadblock. Speaking of which, I'm playing the game where we have another perfect junction roadblock. Freaking pseudo weirdo.
The thing is, Snorlax was created to block paths. Paths were created for Sudowoodo to block.
Yeah. It's like, all you guys had to do was just cut some of the trees down around it. And then the path would be wide enough for people to go through.
Okay, I need to heal again. This time I'm going here because the Pokemon Center is very close by.
Also, yes, I was unoriginal and named my Vulpix Kurama. Let's get that off the battlefield because it likely has Lightning Rod.
Alright.
Or not.
Time to swap Tifa back out with Beyblade.
This was before Lightning Rod did something. It just takes the electric attack back in this time period.
Yeah, it's not a stat boosting one yet.
Oh yeah, fair warning with using Thunder Wave. The final battle, he has a ride on. It could either have Rockhead or Lightning Rod. So if you're wanting to use Thunder Wave shenanigans, you might want to get rid of it first.
Noted. Or we could find out what it has. I'm also going to step
True.
away for a quick moment for a bio break.
Okay. TM34. That is Shockwave. Hopper. A Pokemon that recently gained a lot of fame with recent VGC. Is it a good playthrough Pokemon? No. It has some of the highest amount of weaknesses in the series. It's quad weak to ice, and then it resists bug because flying, but it's weak to poison, fire, rock. Way too many weaknesses. But the reason why the grass type is so good defensively in VGC is because nobody expects anyone to use a grass type because of all the weaknesses it has.
But at the same time, grass type is strong against one of the, actually, the most common type in the entire series.
Yep.
If you're wondering what type that is, look at where I am currently.
Yep. It's why Terror Grass was getting very popular in VGC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. While you're in there, alright, never mind. Because you already triggered the cutscene. But before you clear out of there, go to the southeastern corner. There's a TM for Ice Beam in there.
Ice Beam TM, huh?
Yeah.
Honestly, not as major a thing as you might think, since Whitebeard has Ice Beam already.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. It was one of those moves that were locked behind shadow moves.
I thought I got Aurora Beam.
Oh, it could have been Aurora Beam.
Anyway. Yeah, this guy is... what is this design? He looks like a gender-bent version of the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah. He really does.
Yeah. I don't understand what this design's supposed to be. I mean, coming from the same generation that gave us Mirror B, but it's like, hey, at least that guy has style.
I think the point was that this guy doesn't have style.
Yeah, maybe. Because you always have to, with this organization, you have to have the one guy that stands out. In Coliseum, it was Mirror B.
To be fair, all of their admins so far have stood out for different reasons. Wait.
I mean, Lovrena was just hot pink Hassan and Riku.
There we go. True. And then you have Gaston. We're going to set up with Reflect first and Return on Hoot Hoot. Graveler worries me, but not as much as Hoot Hoot does, honestly.
Alright, refilling the Poke spots.
And he sends out
I'm
a
gonna
Gulpin.
start moving the plot along.
Honestly, as long as you have Reflect up, oh, Brick Break.
Yep.
I forgot you can have that.
What's funny is my Flappy is my highest level Pokemon, and yet it's not going to be here much longer.
And Water Pulse.
You know, I understand that they moved all their resources to Realgum Tower, but it's a shame that they just kind of ditched this location. Because I actually do like this Coliseum.
Okay, Metal Claw. There, we made the Graveler faint. With 3 hits of Metal Claw, one of which provided attack boost.
Ooh, clever. Pelipper along with an Electrike that has Lightning Rod. That's actually one of my strats.
It'd be a bit scarier if that flying water type was the Gyarados, but
Yep.
the
That's one of my
combo
strats
works.
in for post-game Coliseum. Is I have
It attacked itself.
a
Let's see
Gyarados
about
paired up alongside a Rhydon.
No, you're not using return. You're using the whip. Return on Gulpin and switching out for Jolteon. I'm going to try to catch the seal.
And then what I normally do is I use Dragon Dance on my Gyarados' turn. And then Rhydon does whatever. I don't like just use Rock Slide because really. And then I got one Dragon Dance off. I'm just going to protect Earthquake spam now. An Earthquake from a Gyarados hurts a lot.
Yeah. And there is one Pokemon that makes perfect sense that they are never going to patch into Paldea.
Which is...
Ninjask.
Ah,
Nincada.
right.
Because the balloon is in the game.
Yeah.
Abilities are in the game. All of the groundwork is there, and Champions is already bugged enough.
You know, it still dumbfounds me how it's like Game Freak's actual A-team was working on that game, and they had like 3-4
It's
years
because
to
it's
work on
Game
it.
Freak's A-team.
Yeah, and then the B team gives us stuff like Pokopia and Legend CA, and we know how well that went. I always find it funny whenever the B team outdoes the A team.
They tend to do so. They really do tend to do so.
Legends Arceus, that was their B team as well.
Yeah. Pokemon Dark Souls.
Yep. These two games, Coliseum and Gale of Darkness, this was done by a nobody team under them.
To be fair, they didn't have the B team back then, so who knows? Maybe these guys became the B team.
Well, they are, because they were Dragon Quest devs.
True. You can tell by how spiky the hair is.
Yep. Or how outlandish some of the designs get.
And how many puns are in names.
Yep.
And just in existence.
And
If
it's
you don't
like,
believe
you know
me,
how,
go and play some of those Dragon Quest games.
and we know how
There
subtle
was a whole
Toriyama is with
war.
gaming.
There was a whole meme war between Dragon Quest devs and Legend of Zelda devs.
Yep.
Remember Here Lies Link? Here lies Eldrick? Or Elric?
Yep. Hey, look, devs are allowed to have fun. Come on.
Right there was a pun. The one type of person you expect to be filming things in an emergency situation is a news crew.
Yep. And his name is Cameron, which is one letter away from cameraman.
And Snaddle is like rattling off stuff.
Yep. Mirror B himself is a pun. Mirror Ball.
Yeah. Because his hair mirrors a Pokeball.
Yep. Also, he's a disco dude, so What do they dance under?
Mirror ball.
Yep.
Okay. This is bad.
Yeah, the other challenge is they make you battle immediately after.
I'm going to
You
set
don't
up
get to
light
heal.
screen and might get my Teddy Ursa or my Issa knocked out here.
Well, that was my
But
first failed Shadow Pokemon because I got a crit on it.
Quagsire is a special tank, if I recall, with a lot of hit
Yes.
points.
Yes.
I'm going to try and take him out with a physical attack. Did not quite take him out. Shockwave. They're going to target Issa. I just know it. Ace Punch. Oh, you targeted Beyblade. I'm glad I set up the special window there. I'm also going to set up Reflect, and let's get rid of Quagsire, because Quagsire having Ice Punch in this gen.
Yes. This guy also likes using the elemental punches, which is like, considering he's trying to be the governor of Horay, it's like, well, he has the funding to do it, apparently.
Yeah. Alright, Lunatone. A Shadow Lunatone? Okay, that is kind of epic.
Yes. By the way, this introduces Shadow Weather. He actually has a very interesting strategy.
And he's knocked out Issa. Honestly, I think I'm gonna have to bring in Tifa. And I'm gonna stun spore the Lunatone. Good. Here it is then. Shadow Weather. Yeah, I didn't think that would help. I don't have any Shadow Pokemon. This is gonna be mean, but I'm going to probably let my Beyblade fall.
So his strategy is very interesting. So he likes using Shadow Weather. Okay?
Yeah, which hurts non-Shadow Pokemon.
He has a cast form with Weather Ball.
Yep.
What that does is it makes it a typeless move.
That is super effective against all non-Shadow Pokemon.
Well, no, it's just a typeless move, period. But that's still very annoying.
I'm gonna send in Jolteon. Shadow Wave, huh? That is less damaging, but targets both team members. And is boosted because of that. Okay.
Yep.
The question, though, is does Castform have a Shadow form? Probably
No.
not.
No.
I might
Also,
knock out the Lunatone, but I'm going for
am I
survivability
the
here.
am I the only one that thinks that gas form should have had a rock form years ago?
Huh?
Am I the only one that thinks gas form should have had a rock form?
It should have.
Because that is a weather that's been around forever.
I'm a rock, ground, or steel typing to the sandstorm weather effect.
A rock wouldn't be bad because as of I think it was Gen 4 onwards, rock types gain I think 25% more special defense in a sandstorm.
Huh.
Yeah, there's like a passive buff to rock types in sandstorm. Just rock types though.
Okay, this is going to get that down a lot more. And
Kind of like how Snowscape has a passive effect for ice types. Which, to be completely fair, I don't think Hail made a lot of sense to begin with.
hail was just because it was snowing in Gen 4. And ice types needed benefits. Ice types still need benefits. They've been trying to make...
Snowscape is a nice. Snowscape is a right step in the right direction, but there's still more needed.
Reflect wore off.
Well, I guess
Means
they
we've
have
been taking more
Aurora
damage
now.
because Lightning wore off as well.
And one of the best
Hands
setter,
down.
and one of the best setters of Aurora Veil is a Rolling Ninetales,
True.
because it sets the snow as soon as it enters battle.
I'm going to send
Thank you,
you
Snowboarding.
out. Hades, we're going to use you to throw a Pokeball. To throw an Ultra Ball.
I was going to say, I think we have some Ultra Balls at this point. Throw them because Lucha's catch rate isn't super high.
Yeah. I mean, he throws out Matang. I swear, I did not know he was going to send out a Matang. These are my last two Pokemon. Oh. And now the shadowy aura faded away. Okay, I'm going to use an item. I'm going to use a super potion.
Alright, now I'm battling him.
On Hades. Alright. Photon, we have Shadow Ball and Helping Hand on this guy. We have Helping Hand on the guy we're going to be using to buff Ursaring. I will be replacing Confused Way with Will-O-Wisp when it's there.
Yeah.
But Helping Hand as well. We're going to have to restore the freaking...
I guess Fluffy
Friendship,
doesn't really
though,
work as a
but-
name for Ampharos anymore, but it's still funny.
If Stitch can be fluffy, then so can Ampharos.
Well, people are like, what happened to his fleece? Is like, have you ever seen a sheared sheep? That's what Ampharos is.
Oh, you
In fact,
have
when it Mega Evolves, it
waterfalls.
starts growing some of the fleece back.
And gains dragon type.
Yep. Somehow. But I'm not complaining.
Probably because of references to Lighthouse, Dragon King's Palace, and Lightning
Ah,
Dragons.
yeah, that makes sense.
Honestly, Hades use Ember, and with Photon, I'm going to use another Super Potion on Hades. Photon's gonna go down.
Also, am I the only one who has some mild PTSD from seeing Lunatone or Soul Rock?
Anyone that played Gen 3 without looking anything up will have that.
Yep.
Okay, I have the snag. I don't want to lose. I'm going to use a third item.
Nice.
Honestly,
Has a cast form without weather, so
but it has water pulse.
right.
And I'm down to 3 Pokemon, one of which is, or 2 of which are critical. It's normal type, so honestly, you can't do anything. I'm going to use item number 3. On Tifa. Photon's fainted. Tifa's out.
Alright. Now that, at least that's out of the way. I let the Quagsire stay on board because while it's still Quagsire, it's not as threatening as you would think it would be because his moveset's very questionable on it.
Mach Punch. I mean, questionable, but it has Ice Punch.
True.
If I had to face something with Ice Punch and something with Water Pulse at this point, I would be screwed.
Yeah.
I respect the Quagsire, I know to fear the Quagsire. The physical special hit, or split, hit Quagsire hard as well.
To a point. Because liquidation and waterfall from it hurts.
Yeah. I'm Liquidation, Waterfall, Ice Punch. Honestly,
And Earthquake.
Thunder Punch. Earthquake was already a physical because it was a physical type.
Yep. think that's the first time that Vaporeon has ever fainted.
And it was the first time Ursaring fainted.
Yeah, I forgot that Matang has Thunder Punch.
Alright, we got the elevator key and something is at a spot. You said bottom left. There we go. That's a water stone. Bottom right, maybe?
Took
No,
care of it.
top right. TM13 is Ice Beam, isn't it?
Yes.
And then there's something in the top right.
Somehow they got past my viewers
That's a
message
PPL.
by adding one extra colon.
Huh. Well, that is very peculiar.
Mm-hmm. I hate to say it, but a spammer's getting smarter.
Not that they're getting smarter. It's just that the AI realizes that word is blocked. Word is needed. Alter word slightly
Yep.
until it goes through.
Nice.
We're gonna have to probably block cheap or something. Another spot
Yeah.
is detected, but I need to heal up first.
Also, Snaddle's run animation is a sight to behold as well.
What is?
Snaddle's run animation.
Yeah, true.
When he runs away, it is pretty funny.
But yeah, everything that you told me shows up is not super effective against Tifa.
Yeah.
And the closest would be
There's-
Gligar, but it's just using poison stings.
There's not a lot of flying types in this game. And if there are, they're shadow Pokemon, so does it really matter?
Alright, a wild Hoppip. And Hoppip and Gligar are the only flying types that were on the list. There were no fire types. And no ice types.
Yeah.
And to be clear, Tifa is not a fighting type, I don't believe.
It is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's grass fighting. Yeah, Breloom is grass fighting. Making it good in both cases, because in Gen 3, before the physical special split, it was still pretty decent, but in after the physical special split, it becomes stellar.
It is C tier before the split, but it is up there in A tier after the split.
Especially after it gains Poison Heal
Oh,
as
boy.
an ability. So have that thing hold a Toxic Orb and then use stuff like Substitute to really drive your opponent batty.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 4 move, I have a competitive Breloom. It has Poison Heal. Its attacks are Focus Punch, Substitute, Spore, and Seed Bomb.
Poison heal, bro. Wait a minute. If you just circled a group with Hoppips, they'd be super effective against each other.
Yep. Yep, they would.
Did I just break Gale of Darkness with Hoppips?
Nope. That's actually a legitimate idea.
Has it been used before? If
Yes.
it hasn't, then what were they doing? Okay. If it's been used before, I did not break the concept.
And then another thing you can do is just put a bunch of normal types in one circle.
Well, I found Auron. Yeah, normal
It's
types
also
were
super
already...
effective against each other.
Yeah.
Because rock is weak to steel, so...
But it's not the common encounter.
Right, it's the uncommon encounter.
Hoppip, I believe, was the common encounter for there.
Yeah. And then, to no one's surprise, the common encounter in the cave is Zubat.
Of which I caught a couple already.
I will say, when we get to the final dungeon of the game, just take away the focus stats. You'll thank me later.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's like, I'm pretty sure we'll have everything we need, so...
Oh, it didn't have Sturdy. Oh, wait, no, Sturdy doesn't work that way anymore.
Sturdy doesn't work like that, yeah. Sturdy becomes what it is from Gen 5 onwards.
Right. I messed up.
It happens.
I'm going to switch Hades in because you're going to evolve soon and be just as much a beast as Issa is. Actually, no. Simply on the fact that they don't really have anything that can hit normal types, I'm not going to be using Photon White at the moment. And I have the elevator key.
You have to go to his console.
Oh. Smartest thing an evil team has done.
Yes. Yes, if you talk to the mayor, I believe he gives you the EXP share.
And it would make sense for him to either give you the EXP share or the amulet coin.
Yeah. Also, as they stated, the first boss of Cypher was actually the mayor of this town.
Yep. Alright, so somewhere around there.
which was a very good plot twist at the time.
It really was. And then Pokemon, years and years later, decide to take a look at that and say, you know what? Creepy helpful person, go. And we got Lusamine.
Yep. And then Scarlet and Violet was like, yeah, the professor's actually the bad guy.
Not bad guy, just malfunctioning robot.
Still, though.
They want to help you. They want to stop it. It's just
Yeah.
programming.
Their programming overrides it.
And then you have a fight that, for the first 6, is phenomenal, but the 7th one is scripted.
Yep.
And I hate it. I hated how scripted it was.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I was hoping they were going to have 7 Paradox Pokemon of phenomenal power, including the legendary.
It's like,
And
you're not
maybe-
entirely wrong, but...
And maybe in the cutscene at the end, the legendary goes berserk, and that is when you're able to... I'm going to ignore the rock and get the experience share. And in protecting you is what causes your legendary to be able to fight again. That would have been so much better.
Yep.
I'm going to give the experience share to Botan. For those of you that recognize why I named my Duskull Botan, congratulations! You can feel old now. The scooter tires bogged down in the sand. It's impossible to go any further.
Yep. And the reason why Wes's motorbike could make it this far is because you've seen how badass that thing is.
It's like it was designed by Shinra or something.
Yep.
Evil scientific organization, anybody?
Yep.
Net and Pyrite. Locate a missing Pokemon. SS Libra. No, I don't want to battle right now. Nat is in
The news building.
yeah.
the ONBS building, which stands for Ori News Broadcasting Station.
They have a bouncer now.
Yep. I mean, considering what happens, I don't blame them.
Yeah. Most reasonable response ever. Big muscle guy standing outside that can yell really loud if something happens.
And could probably punch your lights out.
I mean, best case
Because,
scenario, he yells really loud and punches the lights out. Worst case scenario, he gets ambushed without noting from a distance. But
Yep.
still, the yelling really loud before doing anything, possibly punching someone, is not a bad plan.
Especially since in this series, the criminals are not above knocking someone out, literally.
Yeah. And there's the Bongsley reference.
Yep. That location. So it's just a stock. It's just a stock PNG. So what you need to do is you need to get to the ship. So they give you a tip about
Where
the guy
we
in
can
a
go
gaddy on port.
into port, yeah.
However, what's going to happen is both annoying and hilarious.
Was he kidnapped?
No.
Because after the events in the previous town, I feel like him being kidnapped would be both annoying and hilarious.
But the fact that they muzzled the entire city is kind of insane.
It really is. Alright, got one at the Oasis, one at Rock. I guess I'll go and check out the Rock.
I think I don't really need anything else. I might just take the snacks away and just leave the one in the cave for Wooper. Because I end up with like 3 Surskits somehow. And it's like, that's the rare encounter in the Oasis. Also, for anyone wondering, it's like you're using more Pokemon that you've never used before. Why not use Donphan? Because Donphan's learn set is horrible.
Well, that's a new encounter.
What's funny is that's the common.
What's also funny is I forgot to switch things around. But hey, this could get a level 30 Beyblade.
Now, I don't think it evolves in the Clay Doll until level 40. It's like a later evolution.
It really is.
Is it worth it though? Yes. Actually, I might leave the snacks behind for plot reasons, come to think of it. Because that's what we need to do in order to track Bonsly once we find it.
Oh. And
yeah, darndest thing. I keep running in the Gligar more than Sandshrew, and it's the uncommon encounter.
I blame RNG coding. I feel like Pokemon never has gotten that right.
No. To this day, they still haven't because, like, for example, critical hits, anyone. They always happen when you don't need them to.
Always when it's most inconvenient.
Yep. It's like, this is my last Pokemon. According to my calculations, it's going to survive this hit and critical hit knock it out. Never mind. Or I'm trying to capture this really rare Pokemon. I could probably chip it down a bit more critical hit.
Or it's a shiny!
Yep.
Especially if it's a shiny. If it's a shiny, your first hit is going to be a crit and it's going to knock it out.
Yep.
Oh, no, I didn't want to change that.
But considering the next couple of dungeons are kind of long, I don't want to get pelted with radars, so I'll just leave the cave for now.
Antidote. And I'm going to use some potions. Then swap you to the front. And go to the Oasis. If it's a Hoppip,
Well, for one thing, at least Jaywitz would be happy.
it's a Hoppip.
And I have mentioned it's like, in playthroughs, Hoppip is just meh. In VGC, it's actually pretty good, surprisingly.
It is a
It's one of the
tanky
best.
stall boss.
It's also one of the best Tailwind setters.
It is great with setup and stall. I'm not
And
complaining.
it's good on,
I'm not complaining
it's very
because
good on
it is-
17 because chlorophyll.
Yes. I am not complaining because purification chamber.
Yes, and thank you for reminding me because I have 4 Pokemon waiting to be purified.
I have a lot of Pokemon that are waiting to be purified.
I understand the ethics and the fact that it's like people don't really like the purified chamber, but let me tell you something. Since they have almost 100 shadow Pokemon, you do realize how tedious that was in Colosseum to do it the hard way. And I mean hard way, especially since 3 of the Pokemon are kind of the legendary beasts that are going to take forever to purify because they're legendary.
Just surround them with Hoppip and walk away.
At least in this game you can. In Colosseum you can't. You gotta do it the hard way.
Yep. Alright, we're going to the port.
Now, is it worth it? Yes, because the legendary beasts are good no matter what you do. Some are better than others, like Entei before the physical special split was okay.
I have to go to the cave.
After the physical special split, it's actually good now.
Yeah.
But Suicune and Raikou are way better to begin with. Too bad the, Did you get Munchlax again? Yep.
And that's the heal powder.
Oh, Munchlax. I'm happy that it's at least a funny Pokemon.
It is. It is a perfect comedy relief Pokemon. Okay, we need to go to the mechanic place.
Okay, that's 4 sets at max power.
We're about to dislike that guy, aren't we? Like I said, I was going to dislike.
Particularly his assistant. Which people don't like him to begin with because he is kind of annoying.
I'm sure those guys have no plot relevance whatsoever.
No, not at all. You've seen how subtle they are.
I mean,
Nothing
in a Pokemon world, they are kind of subtle. Is it bad that I like the vibe of this place? I forgot to switch, but even then I would still need to do this.
You know, Chauvin, I really think that you need to get your prescription shots.
You know, I have a theory. I think he
What's
doesn't
that?
realize that the character's sister has drawn those spirals on his glasses.
Well, the doctor has the same glasses, so who knows?
Still weak to water, but I'm sending out Beyblade for the experience. They need to remember to clean their glasses.
Yes. For those who don't know, yes, they are serious about this. They even give him a boss battle theme. Uh, Too bad we're a silent protagonist, because we can't tell him, hey, wait a second. You know me.
I'm gonna go and heal up first. Because with how slow Chobin is, with his footsteps, I feel like we'll be able to
Yeah.
get to Agate Pokemon Center and heal up before he gets back.
Good special defense or not, being quad weak to electric is still quad weak to electric.
Yes. Also, I just want to point out how funny it is that it's a Groudon fountain. It is literally
Yep.
just. It is the situation Groudon finds itself in the fight against Kyogre.
Yep. Confused Ray on Golbat.
Robo Groudon!
Yes. They are serious about it. They're being serious.
The funniest thing is they send out Pokemon to fight.
I know. And they even give him the boss thing. That's why he said it's both annoying and funny.
I'm setting up light screen. I am embering the Sunflora.
Also, I want to point out something. So, somehow he gains 2 extra Pokemon and a Sunstone. In that time.
Well, the 2 extra Pokemon were probably in the Robo Groudon. And the Sunstone,
Possibly.
he probably tripped and knocked it onto his Sunkern.
So in what is it? In the ROM hack where they remake this game, you actually fight a Robo Groudon.
Good.
All they do is palette swap the Groudon, make it silver. Well, chrome. So, congratulations, you made Paradox Groudon.
Before paradoxes were even a thing.
Yep.
Okay, so Beyblade. We'll use Side Beam on Sunflora. For Jolteon, we are just going to Thunder Shock that sticky Gyarados. So only Jolteon's getting hit by the Razor Leaf. And Side Beam doesn't knock it out. And the biggest thing
conveniently-
is, you don't have to worry about Gyarados anymore.
What's interesting too is it's like he seems to be using a bunch of he uses a sunny day strategy with a water type. On
Yeah.
purpose, his Gyarados does not know any water type attacks. You know, come to think of it, a Gyarados with Earthquake, because 2 of his Pokemon are flying type, that's not a bad idea.
Which is why you always take out the Gyarados first.
Yep. Yes, I know this is before the physical special split, but Gyarados is still horrifying.
It really is. I'm going to go with Bite here and take out his Sunflora. He's probably going to unleash a Solar Beam with his Hoppip. Leech Seed first? Okay. Soul Maxer. Right there. And his last one is Tropius.
Tropius needs something. It Winds and Waves is a perfect opportunity because it's a tropical region. Do something with it.
It really does. Honestly, Tropius has been lacking that special something for way too long. Thunder Wave on Tropius.
Its stats are low enough for an evolution, or if you just don't want to go that route and just want to keep Mega Evolution, give it a Mega Evolution. Because, for example, we've seen what happens when you give a Pokemon that used to be terrible in Mawile and then Mega Evolution.
And it has an ability.
Yeah, and when it has an ability. It's quite the foe to deal with. God, it's fun using taking advantage of huge power on a Pokemon like that.
Time to send out Issa.
What also makes it great is when you send it out, it will have Intimidate. So not only do you nerf your opponent, now you have double your attack stat. So yeah, you could either give it an evolution, or if you don't want to and just want to give it a gimmick, then give it a Mega Evolution. Who knows, you might actually make it good. That I think it deserves a little more love because I like dinosaurs, so. And it's based on a Brontosaurus, so I like them to do something with it.
I know that it feels complete, but you can still give it an evolution.
Yep.
Just don't make it the next Rhyperior.
I don't even care if it's uninspired like the Dunsparce. At least it got something.
Yeah. And I have yet to see anyone hating on this Dunsparce. I've seen people memeing on the Dunsparce, but not with hatred.
Yeah, people will meme on it, but it's not bad, actually.
And they meme on it like they meme on Farfetch'd and Dunsparce itself.
Do I admit that it's a derpy looking Pokemon? Yes. But that's half of its charm.
Exactly. Pokemon can be derpy and be awesome. Look at Clodsire.
Yep. Or you know when the derpy expression becomes its gimmick, hi Ditto.
And it's only its gimmick because of one particular Ditto.
In a filler episode of the anime.
That has become permanent lore.
Yep.
Animate
I love
dog.
how all it took was Team Rocket threatening it for it to get it right.
Yeah. And literally, they thought, we're just gonna throw this in. This Pokemon has a derpy face. What if it can't transform its face? It'll fix it, and we'll never readdress this.
Yep.
Nope.
It became one of the defining traits of meme culture. I'm trying to get the plush it's Umbreon with the Ditto face. Because, of course, they have all of the evolutions with the Ditto face.
Robo Groudon was stored there.
Yep. Also, I want to point out something very interesting. You know, people complained about the Dexit problem in Gen 8. Do you know that Gen 3 did it way before they did? Because without external devices, it was impossible to get every single Pokemon in Gen 3.
It really was. And that's fine.
It's like,
they're making a Robo Kyogre.
Granted, yes, there were less Pokemon in Gen 3 than there are today, but...
Hello there. Hi.
Also, my folks have been out of town for the entire week, so I've been here alone with the cat. And the cat's been, whenever I'm here, the cat's been shadowing me the entire time.
It's trying to figure out if you're going to end up heading wherever the other humans went so I can follow you and figure out where they are.
Yep. Oh yeah, so crazy thing, the director of the music of this game, he actually has his own YouTube channel. He for his 30th year anniversary, he did. Does anyone feel old yet? For his
All right,
he
so
he did a live rendition of Mirror B's theme from this game.
That's nice.
And his bass is dressed up as Mirror B.
I need to get my dog his food. That's what he's telling me. Isn't it? Is that what you want? You want me to get you your food? Yep, okay. Okay, I get you your food. Yeah, Huskies, they're smart.
Oh yeah. They're also some of the worst guard dogs ever because of how friendly they are.
I don't know. I think a golden retriever would be worse.
Fair. But then I said one of the worst guard dogs.
All right. So I now have the upgraded scooter.
But yeah, the composer did a live rendition of Mirror B's theme, as I said, and his bassist dressed up as Mirror B. Had the
Nice.
afro and everything.
Nice. It appears to be the SS Libra, the missing ship.
By the way, this is a dungeon, and it's actually kind of ingenious how they implement it.
So is that... So this is the super long dungeon you were saying about?
No, that's the final dungeon. But this is a decently long one because it has an interesting concept.
It has a strength puzzle. Oh, I see what I need to do here.
But you move it yourself. That's the crazy thing. How many games have let you do it yourself?
And you can fall off.
Yeah, one thing I will tell you is to use the D-pad. Because the joystick can be kind of finicky when doing these sort of puzzles.
I'm gonna grab the treasure first.
Oh yeah, now I can finally evolve my Vulpix. Because this is where you get the Firestone. Now, the guy's fake afro wasn't as bulbous as a Mirror B's, but you still get the idea.
And up, there, and up. That is concerning and not interactable at all.
Yeah, just toxic wastewater just dripping in the vicinity. That's not a safety hazard. No, not at all. By the way, this admin is the one that likes to do the protect earthquake strat.
Makes sense that he would.
Making him one of the tougher admins in the game because of that. Because No matter what generation you're playing, Earthquake is not easy to deal with.
Especially in a game with not that many flying Pokemon.
Yep.
Montail and Cactia. Oh, I still have Tuba in the front. This is actually fine though.
There's another ROM hack that I played that actually buffed Huntail and Gorebyss. Like, they actually made it worth using them. They made Huntail a Water Dragon type and gave it more attack and speed. And they made Gorebyss a Water Psychic type, gave it more special attack and more special defense.
I could also see it as a Water Fairy type.
Yeah.
Especially if
Or
they
even
gave it access to
Huntail could even be a Water
Drain.
Guard type.
True. Especially if they gave it access to Drain Kiss.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I like it whenever they buff these forgettable Pokemon.
I think that's what
'Cause then it's
Legends Arceus did best.
Yeah. Because, like, look, even Wormadam and Mothim are actually decent.
And
And under most normal circumstances, they're terrible.
3 of the most forgettable Pokemon ever.
Finia and Luminion are actually alright.
They took 3
And
of
that's
the most
saying
forgettable Pokemon ever and gave them evolutions and such.
Oh yeah, Basque Legion was one of the best calls ever.
Yes.
I was always feeling like, Basculin's a gimmick Pokemon, but so I understand why they're not doing anything with it. But would it kill them to do something? And then they give us the Light Strike one plus, Basque Legion.
I didn't heal up. I forgot to heal up after the Robo Groudon fight.
Oh, that's... Ah.
Hi, buddy. Hi. You're a good boy. Yes, you are. Yes, you can lean up against me. That's right. Marco knows Body Slam.
It's definitely super effective.
He also knows Dig.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. What's the matter? What's the matter, Marco? Smarton has been beaten. Skitches, skitches, skitches. Oh, hey, I can heal here. With this homeless guy that's taken a beached up ship in the desert as their home.
I can think of worse locations. But considering the broken machinery and the toxic waste, I'm not really sure if you would want to live in this.
Toxic waste leaking ship with broken machinery, New York City or California?
Eh, yeah, I guess that's fair.
Alright, I'll go check. Really? Preventing seasickness in Pokemon. There's more toxic waste down there. Marco, what's a buddy doing? He's just laying there yelling at me. That's the funniest part.
As you do.
Oh.
Oh yeah, so battle sims and battle CDs. There's a couple of them that will. I'm happy that's optional content, but you do get some good rewards. There are two of them that drive me crazy because they're luck based.
I got the Firestone.
One is literally a metronome battle. Good luck.
Ah.
The other one that's luck based is you have to land a critical hit.
Oh boy.
Granted, they give you a good Pokemon that can pull it off with Zangoose, but still.
Really? Do you want to tell me all about it? Really? How bad? That's not too bad. Oh, so it's that bad now. Really? I know we're only about an hour and a half in, but what do you say to bio break time?
Sure.
My dog demands it. Yes. Tell me all about it, buddy. Alright, I'll be right back.
Same, sounds like a good idea.
Master Windu, quick question. Why is yours purple? The will of the Force.
I am so sick of that answer. The will of the Force also let Jar Jar Binks into the Senate, so clearly it's just doing whatever it wants.
Exactly. I'm the chosen one. The Force just doing boring old
And back. Echo! Echo! I'm back.
Okay. So am I.
It's not that way. Oh, these are stairs.
You know, this passenger ship was carrying Pokemon. My question is how? Because it just seems to be mostly engine rooms and nothing else. Then again, part of the ship is busted off, so we don't know for sure. So I stand corrected.
Yeah, we're just... This is mainly the crew area that I believe we are exploring. A lot of it is the underhull of the ship. We did come in from below.
I'm gonna wait a little bit. I have that Firestone, but I'm gonna wait a little bit until Vulpix gets to level 29, then I will evolve it. Because it gains Flamethrower at level 29. Then it doesn't really learn anything else of interest, so... Then I'll let it evolve. Another thing that's cool about the ROM hack, where they more or less made it, well, modernized the game, they give us access to Alolan Alolan Ninetales and Alolan Marowak, and it's like, how does that work? All you do is palette swap them.
And
That's
type
the
swap
easiest
them.
way to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I got the TM. How do I get that, though?
So it's kind of complicated. I think you're going to have to essentially drop down and push that one box all the way around.
Okay.
Now it's not as complicated as you think. You just gotta push that one all the way up to where that iron box is, and then the left box you just gotta push up and push all the way to the right.
And so...
You're gonna have to leave and come back.
Yeah. I see how I'm supposed to do it, though.
Yeah.
I think.
They give you that area behind the staircase to confuse you.
Not necessarily to confuse you, because...
Remember, this is Gen 3. This is when they loved using strength puzzles.
You think they didn't love using it in Gen 1?
True, but it was worse in Gen 3. The seafloor cavern. Need I say more?
And I got
As well as the
yellow
Victory
flute.
Road.
Oh, Oh, there's Bonsley.
So to get to it, you have to move the joystick so that you're walking. Don't run towards it.
Okay. Most inopportune mail ever.
Yep. But that email is the tip to go get the amulet coin.
Alright. Somewhere in the port, right?
Yep.
And we get the leftovers.
Yep. Which there are 2 of those in game. The one you find here, and guess where you get the other one.
From Munchlax after encountering it 4 times?
No, unfortunately, there is a Shadow Snorlax.
Oh. Well, that's terrifying and appropriate.
Oh yes, and it has one of the strongest physical shadow moves in the game. It's the shadow version of Devil Edge.
Oh.
So, Snorlax can essentially one-shot most Pokemon. Do keep that in mind. That thing is a beast.
About when do we encounter it?
Not until the final dungeon.
Okay, I will be bringing a Shadow Pokemon with me to that fight. Are there any items up there?
No.
Nothing?
Nope. We're done with the ship.
Alright, so I need to go and get the amulet coin from someone in the port town? Was it?
Yep. Now, you can actually get a different item depending on how you answer her in the interview. It's just 3 yes or no questions. It's one of those rare examples where I'm like, you know what? Fair. What these guys do to you, it's like, you know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
You know that your character's a good battler, so none of that. Let's just knock him out anyway. Again, though, directing you to the middle of nowhere in the desert.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just sand out there. How in the world do you even know what's out there?
go and take a look at my dog real quick just to make sure he's doing okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Little bits of paranoia and all that. I can just leave it there. Okay, he's doing fine. Alright. Now I go to the port town to get that, and then, is it the Oasis one where we place for the Bondsley, or is it a different one? Or
It
does it
doesn't
not
matter.
matter?
It doesn't matter.
Alright, well I have two going off, one in the cave and one in the Oasis, so I'm gonna check those out. Well,
Of course.
yeah. Tifa was the active one only because you were unconscious. So it's not that I messed up the setup, it's that I forgot to heal.
Yep.
Actually, I don't think I need to catch another Zubat.
Also, another thing about Pokemon's connection with Dragon Ball. Remember, the anime was initially done by 4 kids, so they were kind of strapped thin. So whenever we had just random bystanders in the anime, they look like Dragon Ball characters.
Yeah.
That was
Except
obviously
for the-
intentional.
Except for the case at the movies with that one mother and child.
Yeah.
There are many a theory that they are the family of one of the animators. And Spore, or Effect Spore has actually just triggered paralysis. This is great. Okay.
Paralyzing confusion on Zook Zangoose. That's hilarious. Huh. Lore-wise, he has a duo that makes no sense. He uses both Zangoose and Seviper.
Lore-wise, he caught him in the same attempt.
Yep.
Just randomly throwing a handful of Pokeballs at the tangled mess of them fighting and somehow caught them both.
Zangoose is actually kind of underrated.
True. It's because
So
people look.
Viper's like,
It's because people look at Soul Viper because, well, not only with the anime, Jesse had one, but there was also
right.
that one battle mind.
It's the house below the part shop.
Uh,
Also, you know, part of the reason why people did not really pay much attention to Viper is, you know, we already have one snake Pokemon and it was meh, and then you make another snake Pokemon that is also meh. It took them
I'll accept
until,
that, yes.
yeah, if you want the amulet coin, you have to say yes to everything there.
And with this, grinding off screen is going to be insanely efficient.
Yep. Which reminds me, I need to go get mine because I need Pokeballs. I've been doing kind of bare minimum things and I've been catching a lot more wild Pokemon than I usually do in a playthrough. Because I realized, yeah, Purify Chamber, very effective.
I'm going to ignore the rock for now, but I'm going to make sure I have treats at the Oasis and Cave. One, because I want Wooper. Two, because I need to get Bonsly. And three, because Hoppip for Purifying Chamber.
Yep.
Alright,
Also, coolest looking building ever.
true. This
The
is right out of...
pollution's kind of a bummer, but it's like that's the coolest looking facility I've ever seen.
As someone that has been playing through the Final Fantasy games, this looks like it's right out of Final Fantasy VII.
Yep. Also, the joke of the... You'll see what I mean when we get to the final dungeon, comparing the Cypher Peons to Stormtroopers.
How did we get into this battle? Oh no, we didn't.
It's a cinematic. Also, well, if you're wondering what happened to the president, former president, there you go. Because his name's Biden.
True. And we don't have the snag machine, so we cannot take this Zangoose that is obviously a shadow Pokemon because it used Shadow Rush.
Yep. Don't worry, you'll have another opportunity later. Obviously, because they can't. The game devs weren't that big of dicks to you. They're just like, hey, here's this. Just remember where it is, and we'll let you have another shot.
Oh.
Yeah, Zangoose is, that's part of the reason why I say Zangoose is underrated. Because it can surprisingly hit pretty hard.
And Hades is underleveled as...
Yep, but you have the XP share now, so...
Which is currently on Botan. Issa and Jolteon. They both targeted him. Alright, I'm going to use Return and I'm going to use a Hyper Potion.
Ooh, guess you forgot to heal this time.
Easy to happen, isn't it?
Yep. Especially since it's against a stronger Mirror B.
Okay, item 2 is going to be the same thing. Carvana. So I've got Issa for Tifa and use Thunder Shock on the Doduo. There's the Viper. And Water Pulse does not get the trigger. Mach Punch Carvana and Thundershock Carvana.
I think the Mach Punch alone will knock it out because Carvana's defenses are awful.
Well, I mean, I didn't know for sure, and I wouldn't put it past this game to have given it a Focus Sash.
They at least don't do that to you. And the Sash didn't exist until Gen 4. There was the Focus Band, but, you know. What's interesting, say for Carvana and Doduo, 3 of Zook's team is actually a bunch of rare Pokemon from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
So, Photon leveled up to 28 from the shop.
And as I mentioned, the Amulet Coin does work in Coliseum battles. If one Pokemon appears holding the item, you will get the double prize money at the end.
Excellent. I may just give that to Beyblade.
Oh yeah, that's true. By the way, whenever you get to the outskirts stand, which is like the next location, this is where the timer balls are.
Ah.
Yeah, I'll buy a stack of these. Can never have too many of them. As we know.
Alright, so we need to go to Pyrite Town now. But at the same time, I'm going to stop by the village and heal up.
And now the only time we hear this battle theme.
Okay, sorry about that. I got a scam call.
Ah, gotta love that.
Okay, healed up. Items. Amulet coin. Give to Beyblade. Leftovers. Give to Issa.
Ooh, I should give that to Vaporeon. The leftovers.
I plan on using it to cancel out the one continuous downside of burn. That way, when Photon gets Will-O-Wisp.
Ah, yeah, good point. Then that would offset the
Damage.
losing HP every turn.
Yeah. Exactly. everyone we know here is in the news station.
Yep.
Which person is it I'm supposed to talk to, though?
It's the guy on the second floor. My highest level mod right now is a gold bat. I find that interesting.
Like when we were on the news?
Yes. Because even if they don't get TV reception out there, I'm sure they've seen it somewhere. Also, the hover scooter, you'll never unhear it after I say this. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner.
I mean, hover, hoover, hoover, hover.
Yeah.
And they had to come up with a sound for it from somewhere. Every time I step out of that building with him there, I keep thinking he's going to start talking to me.
Yeah. Alright, Fluffy, you have served your purpose. Now it's time to move on. Also, this was before they started doing the whole, oh, your party's full. Here, I'll send your Pokemon to your PC. Also, this is an homage to Coliseum, the second opening scene in the game. The first opening scene is you stealing the Stag Machine and blowing up the base. Because talk about an opening and making a statement, huh? I love how the doorway is just tall enough for him to fit through it.
Honestly, I'm going to have to swap out Hades. Definitely going to need to do that. Might as well switch in Issa. I'm having Beyblade set up for special attacks. Rain Dance. Swap out for Jolteon.
So yeah, also in the Crystal game I'm playing, my temporary water type is Grouper because really.
Yeah.
Because it fits two niches, being a water and ground type.
Exactly. I mean, you have a 4 times weakness to grass, but you don't encounter too many of those in the wild.
Typically, you don't. The most common grass type you'll see is the Oddish line, and that's about it. I mean, yeah, the Bellsprout line's a thing too, but not as many trainers use that. Which is interesting because as I'm going to prove in this game as well as that game, Victory Bell's pretty underrated.
It really is. I'm glad they did something with it, but at the same time,
It's one of the goofiest looking megas, though. It's one of the goofiest looking megas, but it's actually a decent powerhouse.
I think they just described the concept of Pokemon to some people at one point and had them draw it blind. And that's what they used for the megas of Starmie and Victory Bell.
Oh, Stormy, and by the way, Mega Stormy's ability has been revealed. It is.
Is it clumsy?
Huge power.
Because it's all thumbs?
Huge. Nope, it's huge power. Because Starmie needed to be more broken, right?
Not gonna learn Pursuit. Shadow Nose Pass.
Its Nose Pass was alright until one generation later. Then it went from alright to serviceable. Not much of an upgrade, but hey, every little bit works.
Shadow Wave.
Alright.
Metal Claw.
So, up to you if you want to have the Snag'em hideout on stream or not, because honestly, most of it is optional except for the right-hand side.
And the mandatory stuff, yes. Optional stuff? No, let's leave some interest for people who want to play it.
Yeah. Because I think, even though there's nothing we can really do about Shadow Pokemon right now, I think this might be a decent place to call it. Unless you want to storm the Snag'em hideout. But, I think Mirror B stopped showing up too. Is what happens, because the game checks if you have it or not. Sort of. Mirror B will still show up, but it's like, yeah, you can't really snag the Shadow Pokemon, but it's there if you but he's there if you want a little extra experience. Also, I find it funny that he isn't the least bit suspicious of you showing up everywhere he is.
He probably just thinks you're an obsessed fan.
Yeah.
That seems like something he would think. Let's switch you out at this point. Let's get Hades in for the experience because I want it to level up and evolve, and then we will finish off this Unicola with Return.
But yeah, 3.5 hours. I think that's a good place to call it. What do you think?
Yeah, and I wasn't AFK long enough to need to worry about editing the video.
Yeah. The watermark, I'm not sure how you get rid of that on Power Director, but I never had it on there. That's the weird thing when I used it. So, while we are away, there'll be a lot of off-screen grinding.
He has
plus...
got sand in his afro.
Yep, dirties his afro.
Well, this is a good place to start. Or to stop.
Yep. Yeah, it is. There you go. Yeah, like I said, I knew that it doesn't take long for Houndour to evolve, which is good.
Which is even more annoying that it's locked so far behind in its original game.
Yeah, and that's why I like this Crystal game, because they added it in Johto, where it should have been.
Very next game, Mightyena. Poochyena is right on the first route.
Yeah.
That's where Houndour could have been.
It's like, Houndour seems a bit strong. Okay, just put it in one of the first few routes, maybe after you get to Violet City. Boom, done.
I get that they didn't want to give you... Spot repellent. I get that they didn't want to give you access to an additional fire Pokemon right off the bat, but at the same time, Oddish and Bellsprout.
Yep.
You can get them right off the bat.
Not to mention Poliwag and Wooper if you wait until nighttime.
Exactly. I found the Bonsly.
Nice. I think you still have to walk up to it though. I've yet to have that happen, and I have stuff in all three of the spots.
Let's return Bonsly to its owner.
But anyway, that's where I think we're going to call it. I'm going to do my spiel real quick. This is my bloody task order. Alright.
Alright. I'm gonna mute myself on his Discord as well. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. I hope that you are enjoying Pokemon Colosseum Gale of Darkness and all the other games I play on stream. And if you are, make sure to drop me a follow here on Twitch. If I get to 100, I will be doing another 24-hour stream. I will plan it out and everything. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe down below. No matter the site, no matter the time, hit that bell for notifications and check out my Discord for a go live notification and to vote on things like what game I play next, what kind of character I make, add some chaos to my streams. It makes things more fun. If you did enjoy my stuff on YouTube and you want to see more, here in the middle is my entire channel. And if you don't have any clue where to start because there's so much there, here on the right's a playlist of me playing a different game entirely. It's as good a place as any, right? And if my stuff wasn't for you, but you stuck around anyway, here on the left's a video YouTube thinks you will like. Go check that out. Stay safe, stay happy, stay crazy. Bye.